Every hero must pay a price. The beat drops. A low, tense rumble builds as the faint silhouette of New York flickers into view. The screen fades in on a rainy street. New York looks different, scarred, rebuilt, alive but uneasy. Reflections of neon lights ripple across wet pavement. The camera moves slowly upward, showing a skyline still healing from battles fought in the shadows. The narration continues, heavy and deliberate. He gave everything, his name, his friends, his future, for them. A quick flash Peter Parker, Tom Holland, is shown, not in costume, just walking among a crowd. He's unnoticed. The world doesn't remember who he is, and the loneliness lingers in his eyes. The faceless narrator presses the tension. Now, he must learn what it means to live with nothing. The screen cuts to black. A sudden burst of web shooting sound breaks the silence. We catch a glimpse of Spider-Man flying between two towers. The golden glow of the city casting his shadow long across the glass buildings. His movements are fast, smooth, desperate, as if he's running from something unseen. The music swells, a rising orchestral hum mixed with metallic pulses. The scene cuts to the inside of a cafe. A new face appears, Sadie Sink's character. She sits alone by the window, the light pouring over her red hair. She's reading, her eyes sharp, aware. The camera lingers for just a moment, as though suggesting she will matter to Peter in ways the audience doesn't yet know. The narration returns. Quieter now, almost like a whisper. But even in the shadows, fate has a way of finding him. We see Peter again, this time pausing at a rooftop edge. He looks down at the city below, masked yet burdened. His breathing is heavy, as if the weight of the world is pressing into his chest. He clenches his fist, the sound of the web shooter primed at his wrist. Suddenly, a flash, an explosion in the distance. The camera shakes, people scream below. Spider-Man leaps forward instinctively, swinging into action. The trailer cuts between his web slinging and quick shots of destruction cars overturned, buildings shattered, smoke rising against the night sky. The music shifts, adding urgency. Then silence. The camera focuses back on Peter's mask, cracked slightly along the side. Reflecting the burning city below, the narrator delivers the final line of the opening. A brand new day is coming. But not all beginnings are bright. The screen goes black. Then, in bold silver letters, the words appear, Marvel Studios Presents. The rumble of drums leads into the next section of the trailer. Asterisk. The sound of a heartbeat echoes in darkness, slow, heavy, uneasy. Then the faint noise of a crowd fades in, people talking, arguing, the chatter layered like static. The screen fades up to show New York streets alive with protest signs. Flashing cameras and news reporters' voices overlapping. Spider-Man, hero or menace, one voice says. Who is he really protecting? Another voice snaps, the camera cuts through the chaos. A television screen shows footage of Spider-Man swinging above traffic, saving people, yet the crowd below debates his existence. Some cheer, waving banners with the spider symbol. Others sneer, their signs painted with the words Masked Menace. The faceless narrator cuts in, calm but heavy, almost like the voice of history itself. The city he swore to protect. Number. Longer knows what to believe. We see Peter Parker walking among them, hoodie up, his face hidden, a ghost among his own people. His eyes flicker toward the signs, toward the shouts. But he says nothing. He keeps moving, swallowed by the tide. Of the crowd, the scene shifts dark alleyways where whispers follow him. Newspaper headlines tumble across the screen. Spider-Man saves dozens in Midtown fire. Vigilante interferes with police case. Who watches the web? Each one cuts faster, louder, until the screen shatters into black. A pause. Then a shadow emerges. The first glimpse of the new villain seen only in fragments, the edge of an armored glove, the red glow of tech weapons activating, a reflection of a masked figure in shattered glass. His voice slips into the trailer. Cold and steady, power without order. Is chaos, and chaos ends today. The sound reverberates like thunder. The camera snaps back to Spider-Man, swinging desperately through the city. Explosions light the night. A rooftop crumbles behind him as he barely escapes the collapsing debris. His breath is sharp, heavy, the kind of breath that belongs to someone. Who knows, the fight is only beginning. We return to Sadie Sink's character. She crosses a busy street, weaving through the crowd with purpose. A quiet piano note plays as she locks eyes just for a second with Peter in the distance. The shot lingers, heavy with unspoken meaning. She seems to recognize something in him, even when no one else does. The narration picks up again, deeper now, carrying weight. In a world that has forgotten his name, one choice will decide if he can ever be more than a mask. Quick flashes follow, Peter staring at himself in a cracked bathroom mirror, mask in hand. Sadie Sink's character reaching out as if trying to stop him from walking away. Police. Sirens chasing Spider-Man across a bridge, their spotlights turning him into prey. The villain watching from the shadows, his silhouette sharp against firelight. The music swells a low, vibrating hum that builds into pounding drums. Each drumbeat syncs with fast-cut action. Peter flipping over cars, catching civilians mid-fall, blocking an energy blast with his webbing. His voice breaks into the chaos, raw and strained. I don't care what they think of me. I can't stop. I won't stop. The final moments of this section slow down. Spider-Man lands on a rooftop at sunrise. His mask is damaged, his suit scorched, but his body still steady, still unbroken. The city stretches endlessly below him, bathed in gold light. For the first time, there's a hint of hope in the image, fragile but real. The narrator closes this act with a final line, sharp as a blade, but every dawn brings shadows, and his darkest battle is yet to come. The screen cuts to black. A sharp sting of violins rises before silence. Then glowing words appear. A brand new day begins, asterisk. The silence doesn't last long. A sharp metallic crack shatters it, the sound of webs launching at full speed. Suddenly, Spider-Man swings across the screen in slow motion, cutting through skyscrapers as sunlight glints off the glass. The orchestral score ignites, layered with pounding drums and high-pitched strings that race like a heartbeat out of control. The pace explodes. Quick-cut shots fly across the screen, Spider-Man twisting through collapsing scaffolding as sparks rain down. A car thrown across an intersection, smashing into parked taxis. The villain's glowing weapon slicing through the night air like a blade of light. Peter Parker's face beneath the mask, jaw clenched, sweat dripping, determination locked. In his eyes, the faceless narrator's voice returns. But this time it's not calm, it's rising with urgency. Every choice he makes, every life he saves, will lead him closer to the truth. The shots become faster, more chaotic, building like a storm. Spider-Man grapples with armed mercenaries on a rain-soaked rooftop. He launches himself backward, webbing one man's rifle, yanking it into another, then flips mid-air as lightning flashes behind him. The moment is breathtaking, almost frozen, then snaps forward again into chaos. We hear Sadie Sink's character's voice for the first time, gentle, steady, almost pleading. You can't save everyone, Peter. Her words echo into silence. For a second, the music drops out. The camera lingers on Peter's mask, cracked and scarred, as if her warning has pierced through the noise, but the silence is broken by the villain's voice. Sharp and venomous. If you try to stand in my way, they will all fall because of you. The sound slams like thunder. The music crashes back in faster, louder, unstoppable. The montage kicks into overdrive. We see Spider-Man sprinting across a speeding train, webs snapping into steel rails to keep balance. The villain unleashing a massive shockwave, flipping cars end over end across a crowded street. Civilians screaming as Spider-Man swings into frame, catching a child mid-fall and landing on a lamppost just as the ground erupts in flames. Sadie Sink's character staring in horror as a collapsing building threatens to crush her. The visuals blur together. Like a storm of fire and webbing, Spider-Man's movements are desperate but graceful, pushing him to his limits. His breathing grows heavier, the sound of it echoing louder with each cut, then slower again. A quiet moment in the chaos. Peter kneels beside a civilian trapped beneath rubble, his hands shaking as he tries to lift the concrete with his webs. His mask is torn, revealing part of his bruised face. His whisper is broken but fierce. Not this time. Not again. The music explodes once more. A new montage races forward. Spider-Man dives headfirst off a skyscraper, the camera spinning with him as the wind howls. Flames burst across the Brooklyn Bridge as he webs frantically to stop it from collapsing. He crashes through glass into a burning office, swinging through falling debris to grab survivors. A final, breathtaking shot of him in mid-air, silhouetted against an explosion that lights up the night sky. The faceless narrator's voice cuts through, final and resolute. The mask will be tested. The man will be broken. And the hero must rise again. The montage slows for one last image. Spider-Man crouched on the edge of a destroyed rooftop, the city in ruins behind him, smoke curling into the night. His head is lowered, but his hands are clenched into fists. In the reflection of his cracked lenses, we see the villain standing in the flames, waiting. The screen cuts to black. A single drumbeat echoeth in silence, bold silver letters fade in. His greatest fight is coming. The sting of violins pierces the quiet, and the trailer holds on black, ready to crash into the final act. The storm of action fades. The screen turns black. A single piano key echoes softly, like a heartbeat slowing down after chaos. The image fades in. Peter Parker standing alone in an alley, rain pouring down around him. His mask is half torn, hanging by a thread, revealing bruises and cuts beneath. He stares at his reflection in a cracked mirror mounted on a wall, the raindrops distorting his face. The faceless narrator returns, his tone low, heavy, and certain. Every hero must face the moment when the mask is no longer enough. Peter removes the mask slowly, his breath ragged. He looks older here, worn out, his eyes carrying 1,000 battles. In the reflection, we don't just see Peter Parker, we see the weight of Spider-Man pressing down on him, crushing, unrelenting. The screen cuts sharply. Sadie Sink's character appears, framed by the glow of fire in the background. Her voice trembles, but her strength cuts through. You don't have to do this alone. A close-up of her eyes, determined, almost daring him to believe in her. For the first time, Peter seems to hesitate, as though someone finally sees him not the hero, not the mask, but the boy who never stopped trying. The music swells slowly, a rising orchestra building under whispered breaths. Then the villain's voice slices through, cruel and merciless. No one will remember you, Spider-Man, not your name, not your face, not even your sacrifice. The words echo across a montage of devastation, the Brooklyn Bridge collapsing as Spider-Man webs frantically to hold its final cables. Civilians screaming in the shadow of a massive explosion. Spider-Man falling through flames, webbing desperately, his body twisting through smoke. The villain raising his weapon, glowing brighter, preparing for the final strike. The screen flickers to black again, silence. Then one final shot. Spider-Man lands on a rooftop in slow motion. His body is broken, his suit torn, but he rises, one knee at a time, standing tall against the inferno. His silhouette is framed by fire and smoke, his reflection shining in. His cracked lenses, the narrator's voice returns, softer now, almost reverent. A brand new day always begins in darkness. The music explodes, strings, drums, a thunderous crash. Spider-Man sprints toward the edge of the rooftop, launches himself into the night sky, and dives straight into the screen. At the exact moment before impact, the screen cuts to black. Silence. Then the Marvel Studios logo fades in, glowing red and silver. After a brief pause, the title card smashes onto the screen. Spider-Man, brand new day. Way below it, the date fades in. Bold and final, coming 2026, but just when it seems finished. One last stinger. The screen flickers back to life with a single post-credit tease. The villain stands in shadow, his face still unseen. He places a hand on a cracked table, a map of New York spread before him. His voice is cold, deliberate. This city doesn't need a hero. It needs control, and I will bring it. The camera pans slightly, and for the first time, we glimpse his weapon fully lit, something massive, mechanical, and terrifying, humming with energy. Before we can take in the full picture, The screen cuts to black once more, the final sound, the snap of a web shooting into the darkness, then silence.